Alright folks, prepare yourself. Today, we're diving into the world of culinary curiosities, a place where daring palates meet age-old traditions. And yes, it's time to talk about one of Japan's most distinctive delicacies. It's a dish that might leave you scratching your head, or, for some, wondering who first had the courage to call it edible. Today, we're unwrapping the story behind Shirako, also known as the white children. Intrigued? Nervous? Well, hang tight, it's about to get real interesting. 1. What is Shirako? Now, let's address the white elephant in the room. What exactly is Shirako? Well, in simple terms, Shirako is fish sperm, specifically the sperm sacs of certain fish like cod, anglerfish and pufferfish. Yep, you heard that right. But don't go running just yet. There's actually a pretty fascinating history behind this. Delicacy. In Japanese, Shirako literally translates to white children, which may sound poetic or slightly unsettling depending on your perspective. For centuries, the Japanese have valued Shirako not just as a food, but as an experience, a connection to something ancient and powerful, nestled within a small, unassuming bite. And believe it or not, people actually savour this creamy, slightly sweet taste that, according to some, resembles custard. Others? Well, they might describe it as an acquired taste, and that's putting it lightly. 2. The origins of Shirako. Alright, let's rewind to where it all began. Historians believe that Shirako has been part of Japanese cuisine since at least the Edo period, which stretched from the 1600s to the 1800s. It was during this time that Japan's food culture began to flourish, and people were developing a keen appreciation for seasonal foods and unique flavours. With Japan being an island nation, seafood took centre stage, and almost every part of the fish was seen as valuable. Waste not, want not, right? But how did Shirako enter the culinary scene? Well, some believe it started with fishermen who, after bringing in their catch, discovered that certain fish, like cod and pufferfish, had these extra parts that could be, well, experimented with. And for a people known for making the most out of their resources, Shirako soon found its place in Japanese cuisine as a winter delicacy, often served in hot pots or lightly grilled to highlight its natural flavours. 3. Shirako in modern Japanese cuisine. So, flash forward to modern-day Japan. Shirako is now seen as a seasonal delicacy, typically enjoyed in the winter months when the fish it's sourced from are in peak spawning season. Imagine heading to a fancy sushi restaurant, and after a lineup of delicacies, the chef presents you with Shirako as the pièce de résistance. It's often served in ways that bring out its delicate texture and flavour. We're talking steamed, fried, or simply served raw, sashimi style. If you order Shirako at a high-end restaurant, don't expect much of a heads up. You might just find yourself face to face with this peculiar dish, often artfully arranged to look, well, as appealing as possible, and yet people order it willingly, paying premium prices for the privilege. Why? Because in Japanese culture, food isn't just about taste, it's about the story, the history, and even the mystery. Shirako has a bit of all three, making it a prime example of Japanese culinary boldness. 4. Shirako's spread beyond Japan. You might be wondering, is Japan the only place with such adventurous tastes? Not quite. Believe it or not, Shirako isn't exclusively Japanese. Other cultures have developed similar dishes, though none quite take it to the level of reverence that Japan does. In Russia, they have milts, which are similar and sometimes served in soups or fried. Scotland? You'll find fish milt there too, served up in ways that would make any lover of Scottish seafood feel right at home. But here's the twist. Even as international interest in Japanese cuisine has skyrocketed, Shirako hasn't exactly become the next ramen or sushi. For most Westerners, fish sperm doesn't really scream yum, so it's still a bit of a hidden gem, reserved for those brave enough to venture off the beaten path. 5. how Shirako is served and consumed. Now, if you're ever feeling particularly daring, or just want a great story for your next dinner party, let's talk about how to actually enjoy Shirako. Traditionally, it's served with a light ponzu sauce, which adds a citrusy tang that balances its rich, creamy texture. You might also find it grilled, giving it a slightly firmer texture, or even tempura style for that crispy golden outer layer with the soft, creamy interior. Some say it's best enjoyed hot, others insist it should be cold. Either way, it's an experience that's as much about texture as it is about flavour. And yes, Shirako has an unmistakably unique taste. It's often compared to foie gras or even oysters. Rich, buttery, and with a lingering flavour that some find indulgent. Others, not so much. For those who can get past the idea of what it actually is, Shirako offers a flavour adventure, a roller coaster for the senses, and a chance to connect with centuries of Japanese culinary tradition. 6. The cultural significance of Shirako. One of the most fascinating aspects of Shirako isn't the taste or even the texture, but rather the cultural significance behind it. In Japan, eating certain foods is seen as a way to harness nature's energy. Shirako, in particular, is often believed to have health benefits that go beyond simple nutrition. It's thought to be revitalizing, almost like a natural supplement, and has even earned a reputation as something of an aphrodisiac. Some believe it can boost energy, while others see it as a symbol of bravery and respect for the cycle of life. For many Japanese, trying Shirako is almost like a rite of passage, a test of culinary courage that shows a willingness to embrace every part of nature, no matter how unusual. Eating Shirako is seen as part of celebrating life, with all its quirks and mysteries, and whether you enjoy it or not, it's an experience that's sure to leave a lasting impression. 7. Shirako's role in Japanese pop culture. Now, you might think that Shirako would be left out of Japan's pop culture scene, but you'd be wrong. It pops up in TV shows, manga, and even a few quirky video games. It's often portrayed as a food for the bold, a way to show off your fearless side. There's even a bit of playful competition among people trying it for the first time, with friends daring each other to give it a go. And here's a fun fact. Some restaurants offer Shirako challenges, where people who are truly curious, or just want bragging rights, can try large servings. It's become a sort of underground trend, especially among younger Japanese people looking for unique and Instagram-worthy food experiences. So if you're ever in Japan and want to impress the locals, order Shirako, snap a picture, and prepare yourself for a culinary memory you'll never forget. 8. Shirako's place in global food tourism. In recent years, Japan's food scene has exploded on the global stage, with tourists flocking from around the world to get a taste of authentic Japanese flavors. Sushi and ramen shops are common tourist destinations, but for the more adventurous eater, Japan holds a treasure trove of rare and intriguing dishes, and Shirako stands out as one of the ultimate challenges. In fact, some travellers now come specifically to try it, adding Shirako to their culinary bucket lists right alongside fugu, the infamous pufferfish, and uni, sea urchin. For many of these food tourists, trying Shirako is not just about the taste, it's about the thrill. The idea of consuming something so unusual, so uniquely Japanese, becomes a sort of food-based rite of passage. These travellers often end up sharing their experiences on social media, adding to Shirako's mystique. You'll find YouTube videos, Instagram posts, and even TikToks dedicated to the reactions of unsuspecting tasters. Some look pleasantly surprised, others visibly cringe, but nearly everyone agrees on one thing. It's an unforgettable experience. As part of this culinary exploration, a growing number of tourists seek out specific restaurants where Shirako is prepared with a unique flair. Some chefs infuse it with creative flavours, like truffle or yuzu, offering a fusion twist that makes Shirako feel both exotic and modern. Others go the traditional route, serving it as sashimi, or in a lightly simmered hot pot to let the natural flavours shine through. Either way, it's clear that Shirako has found its niche among culinary adventurers willing to brave the unknown. 9. The future of Shirako. So what does the future hold for this peculiar delicacy? As food culture continues to evolve, more people are exploring the world of unique flavours. Who knows? Maybe Shirako will one day gain the same popularity as sushi, sashimi, or ramen. While that might be a stretch, the world's fascination with Japanese cuisine and the push towards sustainable eating could mean more people giving Shirako a shot. And maybe, just maybe, it'll start showing up on more menus around the world. But for now, Shirako remains a delicacy for those with a curiosity that outweighs their hesitation. A hidden gem in the vast sea of Japanese cuisine, waiting for the next adventurous soul. Conclusion. All right, there you have it, the story of Shirako, a dish that might leave you speechless, fascinated, or both. So, would you try it? Or are you happy leaving it on the bucket list? Whether you're a seasoned foodie or just someone who enjoys a strange story, Shirako is a testament to the fact that food can surprise us in the most unexpected ways. And hey, if you do try it, you'll have an unforgettable story to share at dinner parties for years to come. Remember, food is a journey, and sometimes that journey leads us to places we never thought we'd go, like a dish of creamy fish sperm. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the world's weirdest foods. Until next time, keep those taste buds curious and adventurous.